Hello, and I want to thank all the parents and players for coming out tonight to attend our preseason or preschool athletic facilities and athletics activities meeting. Today, we're going to talk about basically the risks and benefits of your child playing in an athletic activity that is functioned by the school, either whether it's like athletics or an activity on campus. But before we get started, I would like to talk about the benefits that come with applying yourself to an academic activity or an athletic activity. And the first thing that we want to look at is it has proven that high schoolers who participate in athletics score better in grade point average or GPA and academics. They found an average GPA of high school athletes was 2.84 as compared to those who are not in athletics at a 2.68. So not a huge difference, but it does show that there is an increase in academics, more focus, more drive to get your homework done. And also, there's another recent study that shows that students who are active in sports such as soccer, football, skateboarding, for instance, that perform 10% better in core subjects like math, science, social studies, and language arts, which is the core subject of what students learn today all across the world. Another big thing that I like to call are the 3 Ps, persistence, patience, and practice. Team members learn that practice is required. Even when they would prefer to be spending time with friends, they understand the importance of practicing and getting better, and that's what helps drive students as they play an athletic sport. They know that in order to be better at what they want or need to get a better score, they have to practice and learn it and get better. They also learn that the harder they work, the better they perform, which that also in turns, goal setting is very huge for students and people in the real world nowadays. So it just helps them keep grinding and get better at making those goals and setting higher goals and being more successful in high school and as they go into college. And a big thing is teamwork and cooperation. Nowadays, real life concepts are broken down into group projects, not individual assignments. And so learning how to work well with others, practicing with others, playing with several teammates instead of an individual sport, it just shows that you can work well with others and can help better the program that you're in and better the company that you work for later down the road. But those are the benefits that are the most important that come with playing an athletic sport or an activity. But we all do know that with athletics comes risks, injuries. And us as a school, we understand that these risks are preventable but not completely gone. Every sport has a risk of injury. It's just nature. It's what happens. Injuries such as a simple sprain or it could be as bad as a paraplegic or death. And as a school, we understand that a lot of parents are very wary of playing athletic sports because they know the injuries that come with it. Just recent studies show that 90% of student athletes report some sort of sports-related injuries, whether that's a minor or a serious injury. 12% report they sustain concussions and head injuries, which that number has gone down with all the new regulations, but we don't want to see it that high. We want to, excuse me. We want to take care of that as early as possible. And as a school, we understand and know that these risks are inevitable, but there are ways that we can definitely prevent these types of injuries or risks. We will always have a fully staffed athletic training program and athletic trainers. They'll be there to help prepare athletes for game days, practices, recoveries, any type of rehab that's needed to be done. They'll be there to help successfully prepare your body for the upcoming events. That way we can prevent as much injury as possible. Having those athletic trainers also helps give us that expertise in if something were to happen, not to make it worse, but to make it better and as quickly as possible and calm the athlete. That is huge. Also, to go along with having those athletic trainers, we will have the safest equipment possible that we can get out there for say our collision sports and baseball and sports like that. It's very important that we keep high safety equipment for those students, giving them the best chance to be injury free. At the beginning of every year, we will have all of those equipment for each sport tested and make sure qualified, cleaned, and sanitary for the use for every upcoming season. Another big thing would be that we will require a physical done either by your local physician or the doctor that you prefer, or you can utilize the doctors we prefer for a physical night that we will put on a week before classes start or a week before your season starts if you're to do a fall sport. That is very important that we understand that you are physically inclined and able to play, and there are no risk factors that we should be aware of before you play. Also, we would like to require that you take this handbook that we've laid out in front of you. Just go through it with your parents. Just read over thick and thin through our procedures, how we handle certain situations. Once you feel comfortable, there are 3 consent forms in the back that you would need to sign, as well as your parents, just giving permission that you understand what we do as a school, what you will be needed for, and how we can help prevent all these injuries. And then when you feel comfortable, you'll have to return that. We will not allow any play until you have a physical or the consent forms signed and returned. That way it covers, and that way we'll make sure that everyone is aware of what we're getting into, the risks that we're getting into, and that way we can try and keep your son or daughter as safe as possible. With that being said, I would just like to thank everyone for coming out today, and I hope you got a lot out of this meeting. I hope to see you guys in the near future, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.